Now let's talk celebrations, and yet again a media storm surrounding our club, and once again Miles Lewis-Skelly. From the red card to the celebrations. But firstly, how much did we love it when Miles Lewis-Skelly recreated Haaland's celebration?
For me, I just loved how full circle it was, and not just because of what happened in September, but Miles Lewis-Skelly scored a winner against Manchester City in the FA Youth Cup semi-final, right in that same goal. So that was where my head went first. And then to see the celebration, it made the moment a lot more, I guess, powerful. And the discussion that's gone since then is just ridiculous, in my opinion. But yeah, as a moment in itself, I just thought it was so nice that he got that moment against Manchester City, because he's had so many different moments, and he's only 18 against that club. He even got booked before his debut in September. So I think, yeah, there were so many moments that made that one worth it.
I just think it's a nice moment in football. It's where rivalry comes through. It's where a little bit of passion comes through. And to be honest, I can't believe the reaction to this. I can bet you that Erling Haaland doesn't even care. So why does everybody else sitting behind their laptops writing articles care? That's the bit that I'll never get my head around. And if we consistently...
People just want to find some negative stuff to talk about Arsenal.
We're like people are pretending to be offended about something that isn't at all offensive. It's just a bit of banter back and forth, right? I bet Haaland doesn't care. And instead of focusing on the actual issues that we've got in our game and the actual things that are offensive, we're wasting our time on this. Like, it's mad to me. We talk about it all the time. Arsenal get it worse than everybody else. People say that we're paranoid and all the rest of it. No, this is another prime example. And for the Premier League to come out and say that they're going to monitor celebrations, why don't you monitor the standard of your officials? Why don't you bring in semi-automated offside that would fix so many issues in our game instead of that dodgy technology we saw on display against Newcastle again? Couldn't tell whether Isak was offside from that. Like, there's so many actual issues, and we just spend so much time talking about nonsense like this. It drives me crazy.
I loved it because there's so many boring things in football at the moment. One thing that's missing is goal celebrations. I love it when, 90s, noughties era football where a player scored a goal and had his celebration. So that's the first thing. I just loved it. Second of all, you said that you don't think Haaland particularly cares about it. I think he probably welcomes it. I think the sort of person is like, you know what, it's a little back and forth. I'll see you in London, I'll see you in Manchester. I reckon he probably welcomes it. And this isn't boxing, this is football. Nothing's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? There's a little bit of banter. I beat you today, you beat me today. Cool, shake hands, move on. I don't understand why we're trying to just squeeze a bit of fun. And regarding celebration as well, I agree that the reaction to it has been really embarrassing. It's a namaste pose, stance. Like, if his celebration was something that was controversial or offensive, cool, maybe like, maybe don't do that again, Miles. What's the problem?
The thing is as well, like, I'm pretty sure, and I might be wrong, you guys might know better than me, pretty sure I saw Johan Visser, by the way, do that way before Erling Haaland did. So is it even the Erling Haaland celebration? And it was nice to see something that isn't a knee slide. How many knee slides do we get these days? Fed up of it.
I loved it. I just feel we're just really clamping down on the things that aren't really that important. And our rival fans, you see, you were laughing on Sunday, you're not laughing anymore. That's fine. We were laughing on Sunday because we won 5-1. We're not laughing now because we got knocked out of the cup. That's what happens. That's football. Like, so what? It's not that deep for me.
So then just very quickly, what would all your celebrations be?
Oh.
You don't have to get up and do them, just quickly.
So I play pro clubs quite a bit, FIFA. So you can pick your own celebrations. What's mine at the minute? Mine's the Cold Palmer celebration, but it changes from week to week. So if we've come back in a game where we were losing from, I might gritty on I might gritty on them as well. So there's a little selection there, a few different ones.
I think mine would be a bit of a roly-poly because I don't think I've got the athleticism to pull off.
That would be class to watch.
So just a little roly-poly like you used to do in year one.
Mine would be the salute. I'm a salute guy.
Although I would just say, FIFA clamps down on celebrations as well because everyone used to shush if they come back from behind and won. But they took that out of the game.
What?
Said it was too toxic.
Oh, wow.
So even
wow.
Or I should say EFC. Even in video games, they're kind of clamping down.
Game's gone.
Bring back the celebrations.
Yeah, man.
So, I mean, we're all pretty surprised by the reaction then, aren't we?
I just think this is stupid. I just think let people celebrate wins. I think our producer was saying before that it seems now like unless you win a trophy, you can't celebrate. It's just ridiculous. We beat the champions 5-1. We were in a good place. 2 of our academy kids scored 2 goals. It was at home. It was with our people. You know, it was a feel good. What we're not meant to celebrate that. And then, like I said, when you lose a game, yeah, you're upset, you're down, and you have to hold it, and you have to just take all the baton that comes your way. It's fine. I think we've missed this personally. I want the banter, the back and forth.
And football is an outlet for so many people as well. Like you have your stresses of day-to-day life, and for a lot of people, going to the football is that release, right? So yes, there are going to be times where you're disappointed and you're frustrated and you let it out in that way. And there are going to be times where you come back home feeling on top of the world. And that was one of those occasions. So why spoil it for people by being really over picky and fussy on celebrations? Like, as you said before, mate, if he did something that was offensive, I'd be the first person to say, ill-advised, don't do it. He's a young man, you can learn from that, do better. But this is not that.
Unless you're Liverpool, there's not that many great moments week to week for a Premier League football fan. Unless you're top of the league, do well in Europe, there's not that many joyous moments. So the ones that do come along, enjoy it.
Yeah. And one celebration I actually miss is when players had messages under their...
Yes.
You never see it anymore. And I guess it's because you get booked. So even something as small as that, we've seen come out of the game because, like, say Thierry Henry, for example, one that I remember he did was like for the West Indies.
Yeah.
And it's like, you remember that for the rest of your life. Yeah. But now personalities just come out of the game so much. And I love that, well, when we look at Miles Lewis-Skelly and Ethan Nwaneri, they're very different personalities.
They are, yeah.
But they've both been allowed to flourish in that football environment. And I just hope that this doesn't take away from Miles's personality because it is so good, so strong. And I think that's probably what makes him the player and person he is, to be able to kind of handle all the different pressures of being a Premier League footballer at 18.
I don't reckon it will take away from his personality just because of how he reacted to the red card. He actually seemed, I'm not sure what the correct word is, but he seemed to handle that.
And even
so
last
then
night,
handling this, I actually think for an 18-year-old, I think he's got it.
I agree. And even last night with Trippier, there was a bit of back and forth with him and Trippier. And he seemed to kind of almost call it on. Like, I know you think that I'm a target. I'm not. I'm not. I can handle this. So I think he'll be fine.
I think if you feel that support from the people around you, you can block out the noise from everybody else. As long as those people close to you, and he definitely gets the support from Arsenal, he definitely gets it from Arteta. We spoke to William Saliba after the Man City game in the radio interviews, and he was like in awe of Lewis-Skelly. So like those senior figures, and I know they're young, but we call them senior figures, backing you and being around you and supporting you, it must give you the confidence to feel like you can overcome anything.
His family's very good. Like, I think obviously his mum, Marcia, very proactive in looking after not just Miles, but other young footballers and their parents. I think that network, which goes beyond her as well, massive for him. So I think, as you say, I reckon he'll be fine, but it's just not nice when he becomes the target in a massive week. 2 weeks in a row, I think for that to happen to an 18-year-old, even if you be able to handle it, I think it's probably something that everyone on a wider scale needs to look at and kind of reflect on themselves, because I don't think anyone would like to be put in that situation.